Okay, guys, we managed to get 2 more rows of taters dug. We got the Beauregards dug. We are not Beauregard fans at this moment. We got the same number of buckets of potatoes that we got out of the Covingtons, but we got a lot more bad potatoes. I mean, lots of little roots on them everywhere. I mean, and I don't know if that's the heat has done this or if it's just, but if it is, the bottom line is this. I mean, look at this.
Probably about a third of them look like that.
They're just no good. It just done rotten. And we're looking for taters that can handle the heat. And evidently these are not going to be the potatoes. See that one there is got a bad spot on it also. We're gonna have to save that one out to eat real quick. We're noticing that these just did not do as well as the Covingtons did so far. And we saw a lot of this right here. Look at the end of that one. See how it's all messed up on the end? And we're seeing a lot of taters that look like this. So
we got some big ones here.
I mean, we got some decent ones over here,
but a lot of little ones.
Not near what we got on the Covingtons there. But now we're not all the way through. We got 3 buckets. We got another bucket right here that has some fairly decent ones in it. We're gonna move them over here. Okay, here's the consensus. We got a few more of the Beauregards over here than we did the Covingtons, but we have a lot more of the Beauregards that are going bad. So these will have to be canned first. These look like they might hold a lot longer. And we still have the Georgia Jets to dig, so that will be the telling tale. Oh, if it wasn't for the lanyard on my Olight, it would have got thrown over. All right. brought a nest of taters with me.
These are gonna be long, skinny.
Uh,
These are the Georgia Jets.
Georgia Jets. We got 2 rows of them. We'll just have to see how they progress as we go down the row. I'll have to make another pass, but we're gonna need more than 1 bucket, I can tell you that. And nice taters.
I see them behind you some, so I know that the next row has some.
They're not got dirt stuck all to them. I thought the ground is still dry enough.
Even though it's rained 2 days.
Even though we've had rain for 2 days, the ground was so dry till the dirt's not sticking to them. They're still good, clean taters. Ooh, look at this. Huh? Oh, look at here. Look at that big joker. Big mother potato.
I know light's bright when you shine it this way.
Oh, light is making this possible, that's for sure. That's what I'm noticing. A lot of these look like.
We'll take them in and evaluate.
Yeah, we'll have to evaluate them, that's for sure.
Now, some of them are long and some of them are round.
I'm wondering on that end, did we end up with something else? But,
we might have planted 2 or 3 others of the, what was the other? The beauregards maybe?
Beauregards maybe.
Because these are all fat.
So I was telling you, I was noticing when I was plowing them. That's the one thing about the Cub. I got the light on the back of it. I questioned about putting that light on there, but now
I'm thankful you did, didn't you?
I'm glad I did, because it allows me to see behind me. I never anticipated ever in my life digging sweet potatoes in the dark. There's that tater it broke off of right there. That end broke off of it. Sometimes life does things with you. See, these are, I'm noticing them Georgia Jets.
Kind of fat and squatty.
Yeah, they're kind of short. And, see here? Like a turnip.
Yeah.
And I don't know, it might have been because of the heat this year. I don't know. I've never really growed them before, so I don't know.
Seems like we did run out before we got to the end of the row. I'm almost positive we did, and you done something else.
We've got almost an inch of rain, and the ground has still got powder in it. Like right here, it's still just powdery. See the dust.
We got to have another bucket. They were more at that end than they are at this end.
Soil's better.
This is more what we used to.
This is the way we have taters.
Still another one in that hill.
That looks like a different variety.
That would have been the first. There was another one. Wait, right there.
I think they got some of the slips mixed up.
That's possible.
Because there's too many of them that look like that.
And then all others are kind of different.
And all of a sudden you get one that's long and slick. I think somebody got their draws mixed up. Because every one of them, the Beauregards, I mean,
Behind you.
Georgia Jets are like short and they tapered like a turnip. Now, the tops of them starting to rot. That one's rotting on top.
All right, that's from like maybe 3 plants.
Look at that big.
See, they all look like turnips.
Look like giant turnips.
I don't like these potatoes already, I can tell you.
Look at that. That's going to be that machine I built to cut taters up.
Yep. I don't like having to deal with big potatoes like that. I like the long, medium, slender ones.
See, they taper just like a turnip root.
Yep.
And I will say this is one thing we were concerned about right here. See that right there? They're already trying to make little slips on the ends out here. When we come out of this heat and it got a little bit of rain for a day, they're already sprouting on the ends out there trying to make little slips on the end of them. That's what we were afraid of.
They couldn't stay in the ground any longer.
Nope, they can't stay in the ground when they're like that. This is another thing we were concerned about right here. These taters been so dry for so long, all of a sudden they start splitting. Not a variety we interested in, I'm gonna tell you now.
I can tell you the Georgia Jets ain't it.
Ain't it?
Even though we've got a 5-gallon bucket, it's gonna be more difficult to deal with them.
Yeah, way more difficult. They're like giant turnips, you know, like little pumpkins.
Yeah, but they'll go in a jar.
They can, and we're thankful for it, but that was a reason for us trying 5 varieties this year to see which ones we wanted to use permanently, you know, because we'd never grown some of them. We'd see if we're missing out on growing a variety that might, you know, be a good variety for us. And I can see right now that
we're going back to our tried
and true ones.
None of these varieties gonna work for us.
Oh, hickornut's falling, I hear that. All right, we gotta have another bucket. Taters, I mean, but
can't complain about size, even though it was heat.
See, now here we go, right here. See this right here?
Already sprouting.
That's what we was talking about right there.
That's been sprouting over 2 or 3 days.
That's over
before
2 or 3
the rain.
days. Yep. That's what we were afraid of. Those kind got to be canned right away.
Yeah. I mean, that is some big potatoes, but woo.
When you get older,
they get more piffy and stringy.
As older people, our wrists and all aren't strong as they used to be when we were younger. We could whack all that stuff up. Now, I have the machine that I built to cut them.
Yeah, I'll be showing that when I'm canning, I'm sure.
That's what we'll be using this year.
Look at that one.
Look at that.
Ants.
See, not ants, it just looks like wood lice or something other.
Something's got into it.
Yeah.
3, that's right. 3 5-gallon buckets off 1 row, which is better than the other 2. But
the
these
only reason
are
they're that way is because
they're so big.
They're taking up more space in the bucket because they're round.
Yeah. They don't lay like others.
Yeah.
But
these are just like little turnip roots. I mean, you know.
I can can these. These will be the first cannons. Well, those Beauregards that were going bad.
Yeah, the Beauregards that were going bad will be your first.
And then these will be next. So I know what I'll be doing.
Okay guys, it's 6:30. We started at dark. We got 1 row dug, and I don't even know how many buckets. We're up to like 4 5-gallon bucketfuls now, I think.
Almost 4.
Almost 4. And I just dug this row, and I mean, it looks like there may be 4 on it. I mean, you can look at it down through yonder. There's taters everywhere down in here. I can't complain about how many of these make. These made good taters. They're just not a desirable tater for cutting and baking.
They'll be a good canning potato.
Good canning potato. Yeah. Can't complain about that. If you're looking for a good cannon tater, it's a little aggravating to cut them up, but they sure do make a lot of them.
Especially when no water.
Yeah, when it hadn't, I don't know what it'd have been like if it had been a wet where it would have rained, but what we're noticing too, see the tops of them? They're starting to rot, just like the Beauregards did.
And that was with no rain.
That's with no rain.
Because it only started raining the last
Like
2 days.
2 days, and it's just been 3/8 of an inch, which is nothing for us. I mean, because the ground, you can see the ground still like...
It ain't because it's wet.
See, the ground's like, it's just still dusty.
Yeah. But now we'll have
the shape just tends to be like a turnip. You know, they're big at the top, little at the bottom, like a turnip.
We'll have a lot of good canned potatoes, I guess.
Yeah, that's what we were needing, so I guess the good Lord. I mean, look at that. Looks like a giant rutabaga.
Yep, that's exactly what it's looking like to me. All right, I gotta find some more buckets.
Okay, well everybody, we are back up at the house now. We harvested about 8 5-gallon buckets off of 2 rows, about 80 foot long. That's a little bit more what we're used to on our potato harvest. Now this is the Georgia Jets. I can't complain about the quantity. The quantity is definitely there. The one thing we're going to be checking is when we go to cut them up, these big giant turnip looking ones like this, we're going to see how easy they cut up once they cure. And now if they cut up real good and they're not hard and to deal with, we might reconsider having them as a potato to grow. The Covingtons is a definite yes, because they withstood the drought, made a beautiful potato, found none of them that was actually bad. The Beauregards is a definite no. So many of them were over half rotted, so that's a no in our heat. And the Georgia Jets is a question mark, because once we start cutting them up when they cure, we will know if they're stringy, if they're extremely hard, what the taste is like, stuff to that nature. That's what we're going to be looking at. Quantity wise, they done the best because they were a larger potato, a more pretty potato. But we did notice we had a lot more, not a lot more insect damage on them, where they made little holes around, like wood lice or ants or whatever. We did notice that. Lots of them done this splitting, healing back over. Doesn't affect the taste of them, but we did notice that. So, guys, in this, God has been good. I mean, literally, we wasn't anticipating getting anything this year hardly on our sweet potato harvest. But the thing about it is we're not finished. We still have our field up here in the front, which is the Mr. Owl potatoes, our own sweet potatoes that we usually keep. And out of the, somewhere in the mix is supposed to be some white ones. And then we have over at Pecan Grove, we have purple sweet potatoes over there. And we have the Musaki 29s. Now, the Musaki 29, the Beauregard, the Covington, and the Georgia Jet came from Hoss Tool this year. We bought 4 different varieties to see which one we liked, because we're not used to growing any one of those except the Beauregards. We've grown them in the past. And we checked, and that's kind of where we're at with the ones we got from Hoss Tool as to which ones we plan on keeping, which would be the Covington and maybe the Georgia Jets. But we won't know about this other field up here in the front until we get an opportunity to dig it. It's already 7 o'clock in the morning. I haven't even went to Pecan Grove yet. My animals are going to think I forgot about them. We had to do this before daylight because, guys, it's still hot out here. And I would like to say thank you to Olight for the light, because if it hadn't been for Olight, we wouldn't have been able to dig these in the dark. So we are definitely appreciative to Olight. Thank you once again. If you want to follow us along on the next dig, just keep subscribe and hit the notification button, and you'll see us do the next digs on the front, and then you'll see us doing the ones at Pecan Grove in the near future. So thank you guys from Deepsouth Homestead.
We got the Danny corn out of here. Now we have sweet potatoes. I guess I lost my room again, my dining room, for a little while till I get these cured. Some of them canned and some of them in the cellar. But thank you, Lord, for such a wonderful harvest that we were not really expecting.